One, I'm a huge fan of yours in general. We've met a couple of times and I've never been the one to do the interview. And so
Oh,
now
wow.
I actually get to talk to you, which is so
Oh,
exciting.
nice. Oh, good. Awesome. Where do we meet? At Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, yeah. My friend, my Jordan did the interview with you, the last Scooby-Doo one where she talked to you about a movie and asked you who they would be in D&D characters because she's a DM and she's like, I have to do
Oh,
this and
that's
talk to him
good.
about it.
Oh,
But
good.
this time we're talking about whiskey, which is my jam. I am part of like a woman who whiskey group. So
Wow.
yeah,
That makes me very excited.
yeah. It's like I pretend to know a lot, but really when they're talking at me, I'm more like, this is delicious, or like, oh no.
Oh,
So
that's good. Oh, that's
yeah.
good. I like that.
So I am not a connoisseur. I am just a person who enjoys it.
I want you to know something, neither am I. That's by the way, I made myself messy. I am not a connoisseur. I'm a connoisseur. I am not the wing of our company that builds the whiskey. So you and I are very alike.
Love it. So I want to know, where did the idea to do this come from, to make a quest and whiskey?
Yeah, so I started 5 years ago a company called Beetle and Grimm's with four of my buddies that I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons with since I was 21. I'm 53. You don't have to Google. I'll tell you.
I
Um,
already
and
knew.
then yeah, and so we were having great success. My partners have all left their full-time careers and work for the company. And my buddy Justin, who's a writer, a screenwriter in Hollywood, saw the success I was having. And he has another friend, a guy named by the name of Tim Scarapani, who just sold his company Blue Run to Molson Coors. And so he saw the success Tim was having and the success I was having, and both of us were going direct to customer. And he was like, what if we married those two things and built something different? So instead of being sort of, if you go to Bevmo and you see the 100 yards of whiskey,
Yes.
instead of being one of those whiskeys, what if we built a whiskey that we were the only whiskey in the Dungeons and Dragons space or in the fantasy gaming space,
Hmm.
because we're not affiliated with Dungeons and Dragons. So, and that's what we did. I mean, that's sort of that's the genesis of the idea of like, well, what if we built something really high end for the gamer and for the whiskey connoisseur, and that's how we got here.
I love that. I love that you're doing a whiskey because it could have been like an ale or a beer of some kind, you know,
Sure.
some sort of thing. But instead, whiskey, because it's like a premium whiskey that's very niche, and I think that's so cool. When you were coming up with the flavors for it, because you're doing Paladin, Rogue, Warlock, Dragons, in my head, I'm like, these are very specific. So I feel like Paladin is very approachable. It's kind to you. It might not burn too bad. But then when you get to Dragon, it's going to be so smoky. The peatiest to peaty. It's like licking the bone of a hero that a dragon has killed. Like that's where my brain goes.
That is so good. Now those are my tasting notes for Dragon. No, our tasting notes for Paladin are pretty good. They're oh wait, it's notes of vanilla and fruit that are keeping with the noble aims of a paladin with the undercurrent of spice to reflect her fighting spirit. How good is that?
That's great.
Yeah, that's Ali Cho. We have found this incredible woman who's a rising star in the whiskey world to come on board and be our master blender. Today, actually, she's sending videos today from the our facility that she's blending everything over the next. She's been blending everything for 3 to 4 days. So it's super fun. She's great. Our goal is that each bottle tells a continuation of the story that
Mhm.
goes through 16 bottles. So it's 16 bottles in this
Oh,
drop.
wow.
And each bottle is a different character, and each character has a different flavor profile. So it's very exciting. Obviously the first four are announced, but we will announce the next four next year.
That's awesome. Now, how
Yeah.
do you like your whiskey? Are you a neat guy? A cocktail guy?
No, I am not a neat guy. That's for dudes with lots of chest hair and tattoos of like big tattoos. I mean, for me, like I said, I am not the whiskey guy in this company. I'm the one that's sort of built to create the fandom interaction and sort
Sure.
of build towards the D&D space. But for me, like I'm a huge fan of like a Cuba Libre, or if I'm drinking whiskey straight, I will definitely water it down with ice. I am, and I like an ice down watery whiskey that's cold, and it opens up with that water and is simple on my stomach. I'm not a big like heat forward, you know.
You're like, I don't
It's
need it to burn the whole way down.
yeah, I don't need that. I'm not.
Like,
I'm too old for that. I'm like I'm happy to sip away and I'm happy to mix. Both are fine with me.
love it. It's like no one needs to feel like they're having acid reflux with the beverage.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not a peaty person, so smoky stuff, not my jam.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I'm.
so how does this go hand in hand with Kate's fantasy saga? So is this like a chapter thing that she's writing, and then each one comes out, and you just kind of like sip along as you read? What's the plan?
Yeah, the plan is to build something that you enjoy and you can consume any way you want. First of all, we are not about to tell anyone how to go about this, but our idea is that each drop furthers is a next chapter in the saga. So we open up with here's our bottle, by the way. Did I show this to
It's
you already?
gorgeous. I saw a
Thank you.
photo. It's stunning. He killed it.
We're very excited about it. So yeah, and this is like so Saren. So the paladin, her name's Saren of the Pit, and that like echoes her mace that she uses. And what we do is we find her in a gladiator pit with a combatant, and if she wins this battle, she wins her freedom, right? And so she's a young woman who's been born into the pits and fighting for her freedom, and she is a paladin of the god Ingsa, who is a god that we created in our pantheon, and so and as we move through this story, we find out very early on um, that there are other elements at work, and as we go through, we find that Saren picks up people along the way and is pulled into a much bigger adventure, right? So like
Yeah.
most gaming experiences, she's starting out as a young warrior, and as she goes through, we will skip through time and we will bring characters in and out of her path as she is called towards her ultimate story conclusion. So um yeah, we're really excited about this idea of like, marrying um incredible art by Tyler Jacobson, story by Kate, and Ali Achoa's ability to sort of help tell a story through the whiskey. And we thought that that was a really cool way to create something, first and foremost, that we love, that we think other people will love. And it's also the very first drop. I mean, Quest End is the first brand for us, but we are already building multiple other brands that speak to fandoms and will have its own spirit experience
Mhm.
associated with it. So
That's
it's just the beginning of a very sort of cool approach to building a company.
I
By the way,
love
I love that your pink is like making my face pink. I love it. It's funny.
like, sorry, it's the blushing. It's
I
fine.
like it. It's good.
So for those that might not be super familiar with the fantasy space, but are super whiskey connoisseurs, like what's the draw for them? Is it just because it's going to be delicious and epic?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we are first and foremost, our number one priority is not the telling of the story, it's not the gaming. It's we have to deliver an epic um, drinking experience. We have to deliver great juice. I mean, we are at a premium price point. We're very conscientious of that. And it's important to us that we deliver for that community first. We understand the gaming community, we understand the whiskey community. The challenge for us is to marry both. Um, and look, the reality is that we have the single greatest artist in modern living fantasy art as in Tyler Jacobson.
Mhm.
Like he's one of the preeminent artists in the world. So we have the art dialed in. We know that's great. We know the story is fantastic. The unboxing experience is going to be lovely, and I think that people are really going to enjoy it. And the bottle, right? We think the bottle is beautiful. We think it's aesthetically pleasing, and the last piece of the riddle is can we deliver on the juice to the point where people are loving the experience and can in each iteration taste the character as they're reading the story. That's our challenge and that's our hope.
That's awesome. I love the way that you said that, that they could taste the character as they're reading the story.
Yeah.
It's like an extra level of immersion that I don't think a lot of people have done yet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we are certainly trying to challenge the status quo in the distribution world. We're going direct to customer. One of the side effects of that is we're only available in 38 states, so that's a bit of a drag. We're working towards solving that in future iterations, but we are trying to sort of do something different, do something outside the box. As a business story, we're trying to be a disruptor. We're trying um, to 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 carve new paths. So hopefully it's successful.
I think everyone's really excited. I know I got excited when I saw it because I think it looks amazing. I love the idea, and I can't wait for you guys to like explode. It's going to be awesome.
Oh God. Well, this is certainly a first step in that direction. So we appreciate your help with that.
Course. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to let you
Yeah.
go. This has been awesome, and
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, love.
Bye.